Can you believe we started out on June the 11th? We've just witnessed our first semi-final. Spain have confirmed themselves as our first finalists, and they will play the winners of England and Argentina, which we will turn our attention to now. Wow, another exciting match to look forward to, our second semi-final between England and Argentina. The question is, who will book their place in the final and meet Spain? Robbie Fowler, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm okay, actually. I'm not nervous. I mean, I might get nervous tomorrow when obviously we're close to the kick-off.
The team sheet comes out.
Yeah, exactly when the team sheet comes out. But it's something to look forward as certainly as an English player, as an English fan, English supporter. It's obviously what I want to happen, isn't it? But I'm worried about seeing Spain tonight because I thought they were good and I thought they were excellent. So if England do get through, which is a big if, of course it is, got some game in the final.
Yeah, remake of the Euro final, right?
It's going to be very interesting how they both set up. I think we were all banking or looking at Harry Kane or like a Declan Rice to step up, but then Jude showing what he's about, the character, the leadership that he's showing for the English squad is something to look forward to. Not to just jinx it, but since 1966, 4 games on the trot for the first time for England. Can they make it 5? Is it finally coming home? Is going to be a question to answer. But Argentina as well, the character they've shown. There were games where they conceded. They were a bit iffy on times against the likes of Egypt as well, where you're thinking, can they do it? And they got across the line, so that also shows their character. So I think it'll come down to the hunger and desire of each individual and how they can face the opponent and play the game and not the occasion. That will be a main way to look at this game, I feel.
It is going to be a huge occasion.
Absolutely, and if you look at the Argentines, I think they played a really unbelievable tournament until now, because what we saw were a lot of extra time, a lot of penalties, a lot of messy. But for me, Argentina has the best mental power, the spirit in the team is really enormous, and I think this is the biggest danger for England. If they cannot create also this atmosphere, these emotions and this fighting spirit like the Argentines develop, then it could be very hard, because such an half final, it lives from these, except Spain. But normally, the half final, there have to be maximum emotions on both sides of the teams.
Yes, well, do you know what? You've set that up beautifully, because we know that there is so much history between these two sides, as Thomas Tuchel reminds us now.
I think it's important that we don't tap into history, because this has nothing to do with us, and it does not help us. We understand that it's a big part of the Argentinian culture and a big part of what fuels them, and it's even that, so fair enough, but it's nothing that helps us. We're coming for a match of football. I think it will be intense. I think it will be emotional. The way the teams play, the way what's at stake would surprise me a lot if it was like a calm and cool-headed and easy leveled match. So I think there will be momentum swings, and I think it will be emotional. It will be the next roller coaster, and that's basically what we expect and what we're up for. We're happy to have that. We're happy to take that. And we're happy to give a good fight.
Reminding us very well there not to remember the history, but how can you forget it? How can you forget it?
Yeah, look, I mean, the history, there's also a political mantra as well with obviously England and Argentina, which obviously shouldn't really be talking about in football, but people will mention that, people will bring that up. In terms of the games, things have happened in the past, Argentina and the God, Beckham the sending off, penalties in Saitan with Alan Shearer. But it is about the now, isn't it? It's about the players now. It's about players standing up for for that country, standing up for the country, and putting in a performance that he can be proud of. We're talking about the World Cup semi-final. It's the biggest game in all the players' careers, and not because it's the World Cup, because it's the next game. That's the be all and end all. So they've obviously got a lot to play for. But it's a huge game because it's the next game.
Yes, and we know that Argentina have requested to wear their dark blue kit, as we know, because that's the one that they wore previously when they've beaten England, and they'd lost to England when they had worn their traditional light blue and white strip. Superstition is already creeping into this one.
There's only one time, I think it was 98 when they won, and I think at the World Cup, that's what they want to do it again. And you know, Robbie's right, where you got to play that next game next, but control your emotions, because it will be intense. It will be, you know, emotional for some players as well, to just make sure they're at that moment. You know, we know that they'll also want to get under each other's skin, and I feel they'll have to make sure that it's 11v11 by the end of it, and I'm sure it's going to be an exciting encounter. I actually think we'll see a few flying tackles in that one. I want one just to begin that. First game, first ball, first tackle, leave your mark.
We cannot wait. And we'll have it all covered for you on Z5 and United Sport. That one, of course, coming your way tomorrow. We're going to take a break, after which we will focus our attention on England's opponents, Argentina. Of course, it's all about Lionel Messi, but it's also about a certain Julian Alvarez as well. We'll focus on those key players after the break. We'll never forget those scenes of Argentina winning the World Cup in Qatar. Very, very special moment. And I know you were talking about the story of you being there before. Can they do it again?
Yes, they can. They've obviously got a few games to try and do it with, but I think they've been, I mean, all of those saying before, I think they've been brilliant, they've been special, they've known how to get results this World Cup. And you wouldn't bet against them, in all fairness. They have been solid, they've been strong, and you know what, they've come good when it mattered, which is what you need to do in World Cups.
How much does experience count? And how much will it count tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. Experience is so important. Quarterfinal, half-final. But you know, if I remember 2022, the final, you know, I remember also the goalkeeper, because everyone is speaking of Messi, yeah. But remember what I think Martinez, he's a crazy goalkeeper, and I like crazy goalkeepers. But I think if we remember this unbelievable save in the 123rd minute of this game, then we would not talk about Messi as a World Cup winner. And I think, so they have a lot of strength. It's not only Messi, it's the whole team. And the team, they are creating, and this is, I think, very important. They are not working for him all the time. They are creating the conditions for Lionel Messi that he can play on his highest level. And they have this crazy goalkeeper, which is one of the best.
But you know what? Every title-winning team has to have a world-class goalkeeper, and that he is. I just wonder, when we were going into the Switzerland match, we said, would they have the legs? Were they maybe a little bit burnt out? Would they have enough in them? Because they looked really fatigued after the previous match, but they managed to find a way. What are your thoughts now going into the match against England?
You know, I think, you know, Oliver was saying this a while earlier, where once you're at the World Cup, it's the momentum, the adrenaline that takes you through it. And once it's over, then you just take that sigh of relief, and then you think, oh, my legs are aching. But I think this team's also shown that, you know, yes, we're creating for Messi. Yes, Messi is scoring goals, but the likes of Alvarez, Martinez, even McAllister, De Paul, Enzo, everybody pitching in, chipping in to make sure that it's the team that wins. It's not all the pressure on Messi. And I think he's also going the other way, that if I cannot score, I will create. Like when Lisandro Martinez put that ball in, that was also Messi involved in the build-up. And then he put that ball in for Enzo. So, you know, when you look at all of the goals, even set pieces, that's where the creativity and the ball delivery from somebody like a Messi comes into play. But all in all, I think it's been a collective unit. Even after, you know, they conceded and Doy coming in and scoring that goal, that's where you asked about the character. You know, this Alvarez for me at Atletico, he's been standout. He's electrifying. You know, for me, he's somebody that will always turn around and get you a goal or two. And when I say a goal or two, he's got 30 goal contributions this season for Atletico Madrid. So you will expect goals, and that's exactly what happened for this Argentinian side. It's not just Messi; it's the collective unit that's playing ever so well at the moment with great character.
I think what I'll say about Messi as well, and we noticed in the last game, so whenever he gets the ball, he lights up the stadium, but you can see the buzz in him because he's still going at players, he's still got that like alertness, he's still got that sharpness, and he still changes the game, doesn't he?
Yes.
What is he, 39 now, and he's still he's still having a say. Not bad, is it?
It's not bad, is it? It isn't bad at all. And again, I think we've revisited this conversation a couple of times, but many people thought he was going to retire after Qatar. But he's delighted that he didn't, because he's actually performing at the same level this time around. And I guess he's learned how to adapt his body, how to utilise his energy. He's been very smart about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a big change over the last years. I think when I was playing, or when you was playing, there was, you retire when you are 34, 35, and you were very old as a footballer. And now look at Ronaldo, you can play until you are 40. Look at Messi, you can play until you are 40. And yeah, that's because of the further development of medicine, of rehab, of all this kind of nutrition. You know, things are on a much more higher level than it was to my time.
And they don't get kicked, do they? They don't get kicked, do they? We have to have all the battles. Well, we were getting kicked from pillar to post. That's why we had to retire earlier.
Much harder in your days.
No, I think he will play maybe the next World Cup. Also Ronaldo, because the next World Cup is in is in Portugal.
Yeah. Do you know, I was reading an article, there are only 2 players that look not involved, and the other one's Haaland with his movement. So Messi just walks around, and then all of a sudden just bursts into light. And I think that's the intelligence of Messi, what exactly you were saying, Seema, that he's storing himself, just staying ready to just get into that burst of things. But it's the intelligence. He sees the play before it even begins, and then he's making his run. And once he's on the ball and you're facing a defender, no defender wants that. You don't want Messi facing you, and that also, once he's in the 18-yard box, there's no touching him.
That's it. And I just wonder what England's plan will be tomorrow to nullify him. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's revisit the history between these two sides. We touched on it just before, but here are some key moments that have happened over the years between England and Argentina. Some memorable moments there for you, Robbie?
You know what? All of them. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, you think of... I mean, obviously, the 62 and 66, I don't remember watching them, if I'm being honest. I weren't born then, but you're growing up as a football fan, you're sort of, you know, that ingrained in football and, you know, major games. And I mean, the biggest one I can remember is my first World Cup, the Maradona 2 goals in the 86. You know, fantastic player that he was. He's obviously the Messi of that era. And then obviously the Beckham penalty in 2002, I was involved in that game, and you know, this is the big one. Let me forget about all the history. It doesn't matter. This is the one we want tomorrow.
Well, the thing is, the players on the pitch will know about the history, but a lot of them won't really know about it, if you know what I mean, because a lot of the team are so young.
Well, I think this is I mean, Oliver made a great point about the players now, and I don't think they're bothered about what's happened in the past. I think it is for the now.
Write their own chapter,
I mean, look, and it's also the sports science, you know, the manager, the coaches, and everyone within the vicinity of that dressing room will just say, look, you know, whatever happens, happen. You know, you've got to go out, and you've got a chance to go and create your own little bit of history here. So go out and do it.
OK, right. On that note, we are very much looking forward to watching tomorrow. We have to actually talk about Jude Bellingham, though, because he's almost becoming England's most important player this tournament. He scored a brace in the last 2 matches. How impressed have you been with him?
Unbelievable. I think we're talking about him as the most important. I think he is the most important player because he has that ability to sort of get in the box where we see England for the way they play. Harry Kane drops deep, so obviously you need that third man running to get into the box, and more often than not it's Jude coming in, popping in with vital goals, you know, vital moments, and he's proven to be a big game player, which is obviously what England are relying on.
Yeah, and need a big game player in a big game like a semi-final.
Big game player. Oh,
yeah.
He really is a big game player.
Big game Bellingham, or was it what
Big
was
game Jude?
Big
game Jude.
Big game Jude. Yeah.
Big game Bellingham. That's the one.
That's the one,
yes.
isn't it?
Yeah,
but you need that
nevertheless,
mentality.
I'm a little bit surprised. No, that's what I already said, because he's coming out of not of an easy season. Also have some injury problems, but he's delivering. Wow, he's really delivering on the highest level. Scoring goals, you know, like he would be a striker. Yeah, and that's what you said. I think he benefits, you know, if Harry Kane, Harry Kane. It's a little bit late now. If Harry Kane drops,
Okay.
he benefits, goes into space, and and works out a lot of chances for his team.
Bellingham. Is he going to be
I
the
think
star of the show once again?
Yeah, I think big game Jude will have to show up. He will be the late runner inside the box. So it will be a game for the likes of Harry Kane, Bellingham, Saka to step up and show what they're about.
I think England have found a position for him. I don't think he can play in a two, if I'm being totally honest, because I don't think he has the discipline to sort of stay and be that, that vocal. But he's the attack-minded number 10, if you like, who can get him two behind. Found a role.
Well, we can't wait. You just mentioned it's getting late. You know what? Because you said that, we're going to say goodbye now.
Okay.
Let you get to bed. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
company. Thank
Pleasure.
you, gents. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for yours. So Spain are in the final of the FIFA World Cup, and we'll find out tomorrow if it's England or Argentina that will join them. See you.